Are the anti-Asian hate rallies really supporting Asian American issues? Who's behind them? What are Asian Americans' real concerns about racism? Hello everyone, welcome to Lay's Real Talk. I'm Lay. Since the spa shooting in Atlanta, I've had people ask me about hatred and racism taking place against Asians in America. Some suggested that I make a video on this topic, but I haven't been able to because the more I look into the matter, the more confused I get. Some of the things going on just don't add up. First of all, some protests or rallies that take place in Asian communities look a bit off target to me. For example, this is a rally in Flushing, New York, a heavily Chinese neighborhood. I've lived in America for over 30 years. This event doesn't strike me as a Chinese or Asian community event. Many of the participants and organizers aren't Asians. The entire event reminds me of the BLM protests we saw last summer. I also saw an invitation for an anti-hate rally to support Asians in New York. The fist on the poster looks very similar to the fist in the BLM logo. And the speeches given at the rally also sounded off target. Take a look at this woman who spoke at the Flushing, New York rally.
The U.S. ruling class and the corporate media that serves it have launched a campaign to vilify China, blaming it for the COVID pandemic, dehumanizing Chinese people, blame them for carrying COVID in preparation for imposing sanctions or even a military confrontation. U.S. imperialism cannot tolerate a multipolar world in which its own power is challenged.
So this speaker was protesting the U.S. economic sanctions against China and the military intervention in the Pacific region. She wasn't at all interested in racial harmony within our communities. She was talking about international relations, or specifically Sino-U.S. relations. Actually, she sounds like a spokesperson for the Chinese government instead of a civil rights activist for Asian Americans. Take a look at this viral video that was taken on March 29th at a similar rally in Vancouver, Canada. One guy was doing everything he could to cover up a banner that another guy was holding. When he couldn't do it, an organizer stepped in to help him cover it. The banner they tried to cover said, "Hold CCP liable." CCP stands for the Chinese Communist Party. Why did the rally participants and organizer have an issue with holding the CCP liable? Unless the rally was organized and paid for by the CCP. The banners and their messages also reveal who is really behind these rallies. Take a look at this poster that appeared in Atlanta. The Asian woman in the center holds a poster that says, "Down with white supremacy" in Chinese. The "down with" expression is typical CCP language that was used during the Cultural Revolution. Next to her is a banner that says, "Stop anti-Asian attacks now," and it's by the Party for Socialism and Liberation, or PSL. The PSL is a communist party in the United States, established in 2004, with the goal of demolishing capitalism and implementing socialism. Yet many Chinese and other Asian immigrants came to the United States to flee communism. Why would they be supporting rallies organized by communist parties in both China and America? I really question how many people in the Asian communities attended these kinds of rallies. The rallies have also been reported extensively by state-controlled media in China. China's Central TV network said this in its report. "In the face of racism, the cancer of American society, the American social system is helpless. Its government does little to intervene." Racism isn't unique just in America. Racism against Africans in China has been a big problem during the pandemic. Hundreds of Africans in southern China province of Guangdong were kicked out of their homes and hotel rooms, had their passports confiscated, were forced into quarantine without tests or diagnosis, and were denied service and treatment. It was condemned by the African nations. A dozen or so African leaders summoned Chinese ambassadors to protest the treatment of their citizens in China. Asians have the highest income among all ethnicities, including white, and the highest level of education. However, Asians are caught in a unique situation. On the one hand, they are people of color. On the other hand, they are perceived as privileged. NBC News questioned if violence against Asians should be considered a hate crime, given that Asians are privileged. And this is exactly the racism that many Asian Americans are fighting. One example is race-based school admission, which hurts Asian students. Asian parents have been fighting this for years. Students for Fair Admissions, which is a nonprofit organization, sued Harvard University in November 2014 for discrimination in its admission practice. The Chinese American Citizens Alliance, or CACA, is the oldest Asian American advocacy group and was established in 1895 in San Francisco. On February 21st this year, CACA's New York chapter issued a statement publicly denouncing critical race theory, or CRT, as a hateful fraud. It views critical race theory as a new version of the China Exclusion Act and calls it a hateful, divisive, manipulative fraud. Even though they are socially conservative, like most immigrants, Asians tend to vote for Democrats. The percentage of Asians owning guns is very low. They want to have law and order. Many are entrepreneurs and want lower taxes. Asian Americans don't want to be unfairly targeted because of their stable family structure, strong work ethic, and solid education. One anti-racism rally in Lansing, Michigan on April the 3rd best summarizes Asian Americans' view on racism. They're asking for law and order and merit-based college admission, police support, and equal opportunity for all. In fact, one poster says it all. We are all Americans. We should tell those who are willingly playing the role of a CCP spokesperson this: racism is an American internal affair, and China should stop interfering with our internal affairs. For more information on Sino-US relations and what the Chinese said about race issues in America, please watch my 2 videos on the recent Alaska talk. One is a full Chinese transcript and the other is my analysis, and I'll see you next time.